We're playing the waiting game at the moment here in the Takeover rebuild with Everton. We've already secured our place in the next round of the FA Cup, but we're still waiting for these round 4 replays to take place. We've also secured a spot in the knockout stages of the Europa League, but we're also waiting for these preliminary round fixtures to resolve themselves as well. So we currently have 4 Premier League games on the agenda for February, but I am expecting to see that change before the end of the episode. So I'm not sure exactly what's on the schedule for today's episode, but we'll get straight into some highlights of our home match against Leicester City, and we can take things from there. We've slipped to 10th place in the Premier League, and we are in danger of failing to finish in a European spot in back-to-back seasons. So if we do end up playing 4 straight Premier League games here in today's episode, we will at least have a chance to put some points on the table. We certainly have the edge over Leicester City in terms of quality. Harry Maguire somehow still finding a place in their starting 11 at this stage of his career. Munayin moves out to the left-hand side to be replaced in the centre by Giovanni Lo Celso, who was a target for Graham Potter for a brief time. The same can be said for Mavididi on the right-hand side as well. But Graham Potter not underestimating Leicester by any means. It's a very, very strong 11. Danzo, Ahmed Hodzic and Toure, possibly the biggest, most imposing centre-back trio we've played so far this season. Ferguson returns to a starting position alongside Anton Stack in midfield after his long spell out. Reiss Nelson returns to the side in place of Allan Saint-Maximin. We started brightly in this one, but a couple of poor decisions in the final third prevented us from taking the lead early. Reiss Nelson pulled this shot across the face of goal, whereas pulling it across to one of the 2 Everton men at the back post would have been the better option. It was Reiss Nelson who gave us the lead shortly after, though, a collector's item, a Reiss Nelson header to put the Toffees 1-0 up. Diao laying the ball back to Nathan Patterson, his first time cross, absolutely pinpoint, and Nelson somehow beat Maguire in the air to open the scoring. Leicester had a good opportunity to level it up shortly before half-time, a free kick on the edge of the box which Munayin put just over. We did manage to hold on to the 1-goal lead until half-time, and it looked like we might double it shortly after. Lewis Ferguson, perhaps lacking a little bit of match sharpness though, had the goal at his mercy, and instead he pushed the ball harmlessly wide. And then Leicester really started to get back into the game, and we relied heavily on Jordan Pickford to keep us ahead. This one nicely worked in the penalty area, absolutely selling out Kevin Danzo, but Pickford makes a really good reaction save from Lo Celso. Pickford couldn't keep this one out though, cleared initially from the corner but worked back into the penalty area and then tucked really neatly into the top corner from the Leicester man to level the scoring. Maxim Takaipa had a couple of free kicks of his own in the second half, and he almost put us back ahead with this one. The goalkeeper parried it away onto the post, and Leicester had their own opportunities to take all 3 points as well, but again Jordan Pickford made a really smart save at his near post. Thought this one was just pulled wide initially, but he did get fingertips to it to parry it wide. So the points ultimately were shared at Goodison Park, and it's disappointing not to come away with all 3 points. We were the better side, I would say. We had the better opportunities, and we just failed to put Leicester City to bed. And whilst we are still waiting for those Europa League fixtures to be announced, the FA Cup 5th round has been drawn, and we'll be taking on West Ham United at Goodison Park. Not until next month though, so we will get straight into the highlights of a second Premier League game, this time against West Brom at the Hawthorns. Matheus Cunha has been cleared to train, but he's not yet available for first team selection, so Gerard Deulofeu continues up front for this one. Allan Saint-Maximin comes back into the side, as does James Tarkowski. And again, we had chances early in this one. Hassan Diao lifting the ball into the box where Anton Stack rose highest to meet it with a header. But it was a difficult opportunity and one that he couldn't get on target. The header ended up bouncing just wide of the post. We saw Lewis Ferguson doing some good work pressing high. He won the ball back, managed to get a shot at goal as no real opportunities to pull it back materialised. It was a good save at the near post from the West Brom keeper though. And we've seen Kevin Danzo venturing forward from his centre-back position numerous times in recent episodes. He did so here and even managed to get a shot away, but he's not exactly the kind of player you want with the ball at his feet in the penalty area, and he did drag his shot wide. Now, clearest opportunity to take the lead came on a quick counter-attack at the very end of the first half. Nathan Patterson breaking away down the right-hand side, crossing in towards Lewis Ferguson, who turned the header on goal. Parried away again by Foderingham though. And it wasn't until the second half that West Brom really started creating opportunities. This one was put wide by Jed Wallace, but it had Jordan Pickford scrambling across goal. He obviously thought that was destined for the top corner. And Pickford had another decent game, not called upon to make too many spectacular saves, but this one at the near post was a really good reaction stop from pretty close range. Nathan Patterson caused issues all day long for West Brom down that right-hand side. This time the cross found Alan Saint-Maximin at the back post rather. We've seen him score in recent episodes from a similar situation, but this header cracked against the post from point-blank range. And I thought Scott McTominay had won it all 2 minutes deep into injury time, firing a shot from the edge of the box, but it was just too close to Wes Foderingham. And the West Brom goalkeeper did parry away to maintain a 0-0 scoreline. And that's exactly how it finished at the Hawthorns. Points shared for a second straight game. 2 good opportunities to put 6 points on the board, but we come away with only 2. And still we await the announcement of the next round of Europa League games. So we will make this home matchup against Spurs the featured game of the episode. And we've been waiting not only for the announcement of those Europa League fixtures, but also for the announcement that Matheus Cunha can return to first team action, and that's exactly what we get just before the Spurs game. Cunha won't yet find his place back in the starting 11, but he does find a place on the bench. The back 5 remains the same for this game. So does the midfield too, but Assane Diao moves into the centre striker position. Gerard Deulofeu drops out of the side completely, and Reece Nelson comes in on the right-hand side. As for Spurs, they have a youngster starting in goal. I believe we've seen him before. The Youth Academy prospect Gallo. Back 4 of Pedro Porro, Militao, Dragusan and Gaia. Luis Alberto and João Neves is again a familiar pairing in midfield for Tottenham these days. James Maddison will play alongside Heung-min Son and Kulusevski behind Benjamin Šeško up front. So without further ado, let's head over to Goodison Park and see if we can put 3 points on the board for the first time in today's episode. So we are back at Goodison Park for another Premier League matchup. Been playing a lot of Premier League games in recent episodes, and Kevin Danzo is off to an inauspicious start in this one, just like in the previous episode. Had a very poor first half against Manchester United last time out, and he has immediately given the ball straight to Tottenham here again today. Needs to settle down in front of the home fans, potentially feeling the pressure to perform in front of his new audience. And we'll give him an opportunity to settle into the game by finding him with the cross-field ball once more. Reece Nelson, of course, the former Arsenal man on the right-hand side for us today. Assane Diao playing through the middle, and he is Nelson's target in the box immediately. Bit more of an aerial threat through the middle today with Diao playing ahead of Deulofeu. And I'm sure we will see an appearance at some point from Matheus Cunha as well. He's been sorely missed up front this season. Gerard Deulofeu filled his boots relatively adequately at first, but he's really dropped off in recent games and hasn't really been able to make much of an impact for several weeks now. As Tottenham get a shot away, it's blocked by James Tarkowski. Jordan Pickford scrambling back in search of the ball after that deflection, but it does go fairly harmlessly wide. Corner, not exactly the most harmless of situations. James Maddison trying to take on Lewis Ferguson, but Lewis Ferguson doing a resilient job of keeping him at bay. Very interested to see who we are paired with in the next round of the Europa League. Been waiting patiently for those fixtures to be announced. But as Lewis Ferguson wins the ball back, and Reece Nelson can break away. Great challenge by the Tottenham defender though. And James Maddison immediately back on the attacking foot, and what a pass by Nathan Patterson, the little 360 turn. We're doing a poor job of getting the ball out of our defensive third here though, to try and work the ball upfield and pin Tottenham back a little bit. Good challenge again, Nathan Patterson. He's really developed into an excellent defender, Nathan Patterson. He's showed flashes at the very least since the very beginning of the series, and he's becoming a very well-rounded wing-back as well. Excellent going forward, excellent defensively at this stage as well. And he's really grown into everything we could want, really, in an attacking style wing-back. But without being somebody like I don't really want to say a Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he's not a wing-back exactly, but good save, Jordan Pickford. But he is certainly a fullback who is relied on for his attacking skill set rather than his defensive skill set, I think would be the most pragmatic way of putting it. Or even somebody like Festi Ebesele, who comes on from the bench, not to see games out, but to stretch and test defences late in games. If we want a defensive option, we play James Justin on the bench. If we want an attacking option, we play Festi Ebesele. Hassan Diao, can he find space to shoot? Because there's not much else on. He's into the Tottenham box. Tottenham defender comes across well to make the block and eventually works it clear through Pedro Porro and Kulusevski. Alan Saint-Maximin tracking back. He's been a real game changer for us, Alan Saint-Maximin. He's made a real impact. And even when he doesn't get on the score sheet or grab an assist or something like that, he's just always a threat. He's always somebody that the defence has to be wary of. Can he find Reece Nelson at the back post? Not on this occasion. It is clear by Tottenham. Fairly lively start to this one. In a couple of games recently, we've had pretty slow, lethargic starts to games. Few opportunities in the first half. Much of the game being fought in midfield. But this one's fairly back and forth. Hopefully that bodes well for our chances of getting something out of this game. Because I do feel like with Saint-Maximin and Nelson and Diao all on the field, we are going to be able to stretch Tottenham when they commit players forward. As Kulusevski receives a yellow card for this challenge, which seems fair enough. I'm not sure what he is arguing about. Doesn't really seem to have any defence there. Oh, and that's a risky pass from Kevin Danzo. It does come off on this occasion, though, as Diao has dropped deep to collect the ball. Instead, we will just work it across our back five and potentially in behind for Reece Nelson to run onto. Pretty sure he's onside, and he is going to reach the ball. About 5 Tottenham defenders and only 1 Everton man initially in the box to aim for. We'll take the free kick, please, ref. Thank you. That's in a good position. Anton Stack placing the ball. I don't think we're going to see him take it here. I think it's going to be Maxim de Kuyper. Although, no, I think it is just far enough right of centre to make this a Maxim de Kuyper opportunity. We saw him hit the post earlier. To the post or the bar? I think actually it was both. The game earlier in this episode, you saw the opportunity where he hit the post from a narrow angle. He did also hit the bar later on, but it didn't give us that as a match highlight. We'll see what he can do here. And he hits the post again. Maxim de Kuyper just comes closer and closer to scoring from these free kicks. And he just hasn't been able to get one over the line into the back of the net. Really, really unfortunate to see that crack against the post. I think the goalkeeper was beaten. And we very, very nearly took the lead for the third time in recent games with a Maxim de Kuyper free kick. I'm not sure that I've scored a free kick in this particular series. I've scored very few kicks just on FC24 in general. They seem very, very difficult to score unless you have an excellent free kick taker, potentially even somebody with that dead ball play style. James Maddison held up by Lewis Ferguson. Heung-min Son, though, keeper's got a claim, and he does. Do we have a quick break with Hassan Diao? Not if Jordan Pickford throws it much too far for him to collect. Really, really poor from the Everton goalkeeper. And we are on the back foot once more. Anton Stack wins the ball back. Can't win ultimately the tussle with the Tottenham man though, and that's a really nice ball slipped into Šeško. Kevin Danso does a really good job to send him wide though and take away the inside opportunity. He's done the same again there. Kevin Danso following the Tottenham man out wide. Heung-min Son. Jose Gaya. And again, we're doing a good job of just holding Tottenham on the edge of the box. And eventually Danso makes the interception and we can come away with the ball. We did that in the last episode as well against Manchester United. But they somehow managed to work it into the box anyway and take the lead. Reiss Nelson can't beat his man. We are defending very well, but we're struggling to commit bodies forward when we win the ball back from Tottenham. However, Tottenham are pressing and defending so well themselves that it's also been difficult to build slower, more methodical passing moves like this one that we're starting to put together here. Tottenham being a very awkward team to play against at the moment. That ball slipped in behind for Reiss Nelson though. And again, he's going to have to cut inside because there's not too much else on. And he's going to get a shot away with his left foot. Blocked easily by the Tottenham man, but Anton Stack's going to be able to shoot as well. Gallo makes a save, diving away to his right-hand side. But 10 minutes to go in the first half. We are starting to get a foothold in the game here. As Anton Stack will put the ball into the box, hopefully around the penalty area for the likes of James Tarkowski to get on the end of. But headed clear by Tottenham. We don't have Toure in the side today. He is, of course, another excellent target. But Ahmed Hodzic, what a poor pass, and Hassan Diao is in. Can he get the finish? Hassan Diao cuts it onto his right foot and slices it wide. An excellent opportunity goes begging. Hassan Diao just unbalanced, falling away to his right as he cut inside. And the shot goes spectacularly wide after Diao was absolutely gifted the ball by Tottenham there. I'm not sure what the Tottenham player was thinking, but he passed the ball straight to the feet of Hassan Diao. And Reiss Nelson is causing bother for Tottenham high up the field now here as well. Tottenham really trying their best to cause issues for themselves. Gallo eventually manages to hook clear to Porro on the right-hand side. Good challenge by Anton Stack though. Maxim de Kuyper immediately surrounded by Tottenham players and can only win a throw-in. This is what I mean by Tottenham doing a good job pressing high and a good job defensively as well. With the exception of those last couple of nervy minutes for Tottenham. Anton Stack. Can Alan Saint-Maximin get in behind? Pedro Porro and the goalkeeper Gallo there. And how is that not a pass back? The crowd absolutely silent. The referee's whistle the same. But that was clearly a pass back from the Tottenham right back to his goalkeeper. Nice little ball over the top for Diao. Can he make amends for that miss moments ago? He does manage to get this shot on target at least. But it is parried away by the Tottenham goalkeeper at the near post. Couple of smart saves from Gallo here in this first half. Anton Stack drives towards the Tottenham back line. Just lays it out in front of Alan Saint-Maximin, who cuts it onto his right foot and allows Maxim de Kuyper to cross. The ball loops up into the air in the penalty area. But again, eventually headed clear by Tottenham. We'll come away with it through Heung-min Son. Anton Stack immediately holds him up though. And just retains possession through Kevin Danso. A little half turn from Lewis Ferguson. Anton Stack has made a nice run into the middle of the field, but I'm not sure we're going to get a chance to fashion one last opportunity in the first half, and we're not. The referee's half-time whistle goes. And it is all square at half-time. 2 draws so far in the episode. We're trying our best to avoid a third. But Tottenham, of course, trying to win the game as well, and it has been a back-and-forth affair here at Goodison Park in the first half. So no changes yet for either side as we come out for the second half. But did see Mateus Cunha warming up fairly vigorously at half-time. So I don't think it will be long until we see an appearance from him. Reiss Nelson, the man likely to make way. He's not had the biggest impact on the game in that first half. So Assane Diao to move back out to the right. Matheus Cunha to come on through the middle. Does seem to be the change that Graham Potter is likely to make shortly. Reece Nelson, though, does manage to get in behind. Can he make his mark on the game here and force Graham Potter to change his mind? Puts the ball in towards Lewis Ferguson. Assane Diao wins the header. And Reece Nelson again is going to collect. Cuts in off the right-hand side this time. Tries to force his way through and get a shot away, but it is blocked and the ball falls to a Tottenham man before an Everton shirt can make claim. Ahmed Hodzic turns away from his attacker rather than defender. Nathan Patterson. Reece Nelson again in behind. And again we've got players in the box. Assane Diao can't quite get there. Can Anton Stack take it down on the edge of the box? He can, but not without infringing upon the Tottenham man according to the referee. And he plays advantage for Tottenham. And we are doing a good job of pressing Tottenham high. They've done the same to us when we've had the ball deep in our own territory, but we've caused them some bother along their back line. And when the goalkeeper has had the ball at his feet, good challenge, Ahmed Hodzic. Maxim Dekaipa just retains possession. Tarkovsky. Anton Stack in a good position. Lewis Ferguson as well, but Stack unable to find him. Assane Diao is not on this right-hand side. It's Reece Nelson. Skips away from his man. And Assane Diao is being absolutely mauled on the halfway line. How that isn't a foul, I don't know. But if Assane Diao was allowed to run free there, he would have been in behind. And the Tottenham player was just not just holding him back, but almost assaulting him on the halfway line. Lewis Ferguson with a good run. A bit too much on that pass, though, and it is going to fall harmlessly beyond the touchline for a Tottenham goal kick. And I think Graham Potter is poised to make those changes. So it's going to be Reece Nelson to make way. And Matheus Cunha to enter the fray. It's been a long time coming, Matheus Cunha's return. We've certainly missed him. He's been an influential player for us since arriving from Wolverhampton Wanderers. And although he hasn't had the most fantastic start to the season before his injury, he has still been one of our better players going forward, and the player we've really built this side around. And he easily skips away from a couple of Tottenham men, puts the ball into the box for Alain Saint-Maximin to get on to the end of, but again cleared by Tottenham before the Everton winger could get on the end of it. Saint-Maximin cuts inside. Anton Stack. His run takes the Tottenham defenders away. That allows Alain Saint-Maximin to shoot from range, but harmlessly wide once more. We are pressing in this second half, though. We have certainly had the better of the opening 15 minutes after the break. Tottenham were the better side in the first half, I would probably say. Although after we did manage to weather that initial storm through the first 10 or 15 minutes, I would say after that the game was pretty much even. But we have certainly dominated here in the second half so far, and we really are going to have to look to make that domination count, and there is absolutely nothing in there. Absolutely nothing there that should be called for a free kick. Perfectly fair challenge. And if anything, the Tottenham player was giving as good as he got, but was unable to hold on to the ball. And Tottenham attack now through Porro. Good challenge again by Anton Stack. That's exactly the same thing he just did, and that he was called for a foul for. Matheus Cunha running through the middle, and Alain Saint-Maximin cuts inside instead. And Tottenham now back with players in position to defend, but Saint-Maximin finds Patterson. Cunha again anticipating the cross, but again cleared by Tottenham. Potentially should have made a different decision there, Saint-Maximin, and tried to play Matheus Cunha in behind, but Saint-Maximin has been kept on. Does find Matheus Cunha at the back post, and it's taken Matheus Cunha all of 10 minutes on his return to find the back of the net once more. And that is why he is such an influential player in this side. Because when an opportunity arises, Matheus Cunha is able to take it. And look at the way in which he took it. Risking his body, having just come back from injury. Could have easily collided with the post there and seen himself out for another 2 or 3 months. What an athletic finish as well. And Matheus Cunha gives us the lead here at Goodison Park. Trying to avoid a third successive draw. And if we can hold on to a clean sheet here, we will do exactly that. The game far from over. 25 minutes plus left in the game as Heung-min Son ventures into the Everton box down this left-hand side. Such good defending from Kevin Danso. That's exactly what we have missed in recent episodes. It's exactly what we have missed this season. A player able to just absolutely take control of a situation and deal with an attacker, especially when they venture into our box. That's been the source of so many goals that we've conceded this season. Players coming into the box, shielding the ball, and either tucking it in themselves or pulling it back for somebody else to tuck home. But Kevin Danso just does not allow that to happen. He's too big, he's too strong, he's too good in a tackle. And he would not have been beaten like Maxim de Kuyper was just beaten there. James Maddison to come off. Mathis Tel to come on. Poor Tottenham. Just before they take the corner here. Looks like they're going short, and they do. Heung-min Son to Kulusevski. Heung-min Son loses out to Alan Saint-Maximin, who in turn loses out to Kulusevski. Just about manages to keep it in. And Luis Alberto is trying to find space to cross. Kulusevski once more. Good challenge, Anton Stack. And Alan Saint-Maximin can come away here on this left-hand side. Again, with Matheus Cunha for company. Can he find him this time? No, again he cuts inside. But he has the run on the Tottenham defenders this time, Saint-Maximin. And he finds Hassan Diao, who can't quite double the lead. What a save by the Tottenham goalkeeper. I was just getting ready to announce the second goal. And the goalkeeper made a fantastic save from pretty much point-blank range. Fantastic reflexes. We should be home and dry at this stage with a 2-goal lead. Perhaps we still can be, but we just allow the ball to drop to Tottenham. Saint-Maximin once more. Takes the ball outside this time rather than inside. And finds Maxim de Kuyper with a nice little flare pass. Headed clear by Tottenham once more, though. They've had the reign of the penalty area whenever we've crossed the ball into the box today. Good challenge, James Tarkowski. Out of position, though, Tarkowski. Trying to pressure the Tottenham players into a mistake. Doesn't quite manage to force them to do that. Tell. Finds Kulusevski. Good save, Jordan Pickford. And Ahmed Hodzic clears in the direction of Alan Saint-Maximin. Anton Stack through the middle. And a big switch of play to Diao on the right-hand side. Fantastic ball from Anton Stack. Diao just holds it up. Lewis Ferguson now. Cunha across the near post. Can't quite get there. And headed up, but not away by Tottenham. Saint-Maximin takes it down. Cunha tries to get the shot away. Did well to shift the ball onto his right foot. But that did just allow the Tottenham man to get in and make the block. Couple more changes, I think, next time the ball goes out of play for Graham Potter. As Neves comes away, finds Kulusevski on the Tottenham right. Really nice reverse pass and play through to Šeško from Pedro Porro, and a bit of space for Mathis Tel. And what a save by Jordan Pickford. Absolutely incredible stop to keep us ahead. He wants that clean sheet more than anyone. What a stop this is. Great reactions, just like we saw from Gallo moments earlier. Ahmed Hodzic was sliding in to try and make the block. Couldn't quite get there. And Tottenham again will take the corner short. Alan Saint-Maximin goes over to stop the cross. Allows Heung-min Son into the box though. Good challenge, Anton Stack. Just get rid. Doesn't manage to get rid. Ahmed Hodzic so strong though. Plays it into the path of Saint-Maximin. And then eventually to Matheus Cunha. And we can just keep the ball here. Matheus Cunha eventually gives it away. Good challenge. James Tarkowski. Kevin Danzo. Just with enough of a touch to find Ahmed Hodzic. And Anton Stack again tries to spread it wide to Hassan Diao. Beaten in the air this time by the Tottenham man. And Patterson does well just to play it off the Tottenham Hotspur player. And Heung-min Son is going to make way for Brennan Johnson. Graham Potter a chance to make a couple more changes here as well. So 3 changes for Graham Potter late in the game. About 5 minutes to go. Anton Stack, Hassan Diao and Lewis Ferguson all to come off. So a double change in centre midfield. Josh De Silva and Scott McTominay on to replace the centre midfield pairing. And then Festi Ebasele on for Hassan Diao. So just trying to see this game out. We will take a 1-0 victory without doubt. So we've brought the extra defender on in front of Nathan Patterson just to give him a bit of protection. But of course, the pace of Festi Ebasele could cause issues for Tottenham on the counter-attack as well. Saint-Maximin puts the ball up on the left-hand side. Again, cuts inside. Does he have the beating of Porro for pace? Yes, he does. Alan Saint-Maximin from range. Gallo again. Parries away. And out for an Everton corner. A little bit too close to the Tottenham man. Festi Ebasele. Saint-Maximin once more. Into the Tottenham box. Gets the shot away. Parried away again by Gallo. This time at the near post. Saint-Maximin close to doubling the lead on a number of occasions this afternoon. Unable to do so far though. We don't necessarily need him to double our lead, especially so late in the game. Scott McTominay really good pressing high up the pitch as we enter 4 minutes of injury time. The Everton fans already trying to blow their own whistles. And Jordan Pickford will just clear away on this left-hand side. Saint-Maximin can't win it. Going to have to drop in and defend for these last couple of minutes. Really poor pass from the Tottenham man. Kevin Danzo easily intercepts. And Maxim de Kuyper just plays it into the channel for Saint-Maximin to chase. Does a really good job, but can't quite come away with the ball. Tottenham with Kulusevski. McTominay for company. Kulusevski once more, and a fantastic intervention by Scott McTominay. Kevin Danzo lays it into Jordan Pickford, who clears. And with seconds left on the clock, surely this is going to be enough to put our first 3 points on the board of the episode. And the referee's whistle goes, and we do have a win to go with those 2 draws. So opportunities missed really against Leicester and against West Bromwich Albion. But we do take 3 points from Tottenham. So 5 points from those 3 games is not a bad tally at all. I would have guessed maybe that we would beat Leicester City and West Brom and lose against Tottenham. So we're only a point short of that prediction. So if we look at the month as a whole so far, maybe not such a bad run of results for us. We will have to see, though, how other results around the Premier League went and what that does to the Premier League table. And after the game, we do indeed get news that 2 of our fixtures have been rescheduled. Brentford and Brighton each in the Premier League, which can only mean one thing. It means that the round of 16 fixtures in the Europa League have been announced. It's going to be Union Berlin versus AC Milan, FC Porto versus Chelsea, Braga will take on Real Sociedad, Rangers will play RC Lens. Who have we been matched up with? It's Manchester United. So a European competition, and we play a fellow Premier League team. Frankfurt will play Villarreal. Other fellow Premier League team, Newcastle, will take on Galatasaray. And then Ajax will play Union Saint-Germain. So we probably have one of the more difficult fixtures in the entire round. Chelsea, Porto, Maybe AC Milan as well would be up there. So we'll get to those fixtures next month as well. But for now, we just have a final game in the Premier League to round things out here against West Ham at Goodison Park. A couple of changes for this one, but we are trying our best to win every game possible at this stage of the season. So Isaac Toure comes back into the back five. Scott McTominay pairs with Anton Stack in midfield. And for the first time this season, we have Alan Saint-Maximin, Assane Diao, and Matheus Cunha, our front three. Chances were few and far between in the first half of this one. This is one of the few chances that we've really had. Matheus Cunha on the edge of the box with a little bit of space, but dragged his shot wide. West Ham had very few chances in the first half too, but they came out strong in the second half. We came out slow, sloppy, clumsy, not switched on, and that allowed Gianluca Scamacca to open the scoring. But from there, we absolutely dominated West Ham. Matheus Cunha it was with the free kick this time. He put it over. And despite the fact that we created chance after chance, dominated West Ham from the moment they put the ball in the back of the net. We just could not find the back of the net ourselves. Assane Diao this time putting a header wide from a Maxim de Kuiper cross. And with the game on the line and just a couple of minutes left to play, Luca Waldschmidt dragged this one wide, and it pretty much summarized how the game went for us today. We created opportunities, but nothing quite clear-cut enough for us to score. And this meant that West Ham did come to Goodison Park and took all 3 points away. West Ham, a good side though, having a very, very good season. They do currently find themselves in one of the European places, and I believe in a Champions League place at that. And we will be facing West Ham in the opening game of the next episode in round 5 of the FA Cup. And I even undersold them a little bit. They're not only in a Champions League place currently, but sitting second just behind Manchester City on 48 points. So it's not a terrible month, but it's certainly not the month that we were hoping to have. A 2-1 loss against Manchester United, followed up by 2 draws. We did beat Tottenham Hotspur, which is a decent result, but then we lost at home to West Ham. We'll have 3 games to get to in the next episode. That cup game against the Hammers, a Premier League game against Aston Villa, and although we did play Manchester United recently, we're going to have to feature that away game in the Europa League. So things may not be going quite the way that we hoped in the Premier League, but the European dream is still very much alive and kicking, and we'll look to keep it that way in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.